Don't you hate, like, one of the worst things about getting old is I put my freaking batteries for my GoPro somewhere, and in the mindset of putting them somewhere, I'm going to put them here because then I'll remember where they are. And then you forget where they are, and then you go to make a video and you can't remember where you put your batteries. That type of stuff, like, that's like the worst part about getting old. I can't stand it. It just drives me nuts. It happens to me all the time. So this is Tyson with Garage Life RC, and if you've been following along, I got the Redcat Kaiju EXT, and it came broken out of the box. I had issues with the paint, but I finally got the part in from Redcat Racing, got it installed, and I'm out here to give this thing its first rip. So here we go. I'm gonna throw this camera up on my head, and we're gonna rip this thing on 6S and see what it does. All right, radio on. Let's get the truck on and let's rip this thing. 6S, let's see what we got. And we're running out here on 6S. This is my first opportunity with the Redcat. In general, I've never had one before. Saw the EXT, wanted to order this thing, came out of the box with a missing drive shaft end. So I had to get a warranty and get it replaced here. Very unstable on the pavement. It's one of those things where I wonder if having a sway bar would help a little bit. It's got a lot of body roll. A lot of body roll and sway. Something where I think a sway bar would probably help this guy. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the tires. They're really hard on the top and they're belted. And then the side is really, really squishy. We're just gonna find some stuff to have some fun with. Down the other side, no idea what's over there. Not much grip. Let's see. Wheelie is good, but there's just no. I feel like there's so much drive on the back end that we might need some center diff adjustment. The front just doesn't grab. Kind of starts popping up and swaying back and forth. But seems like a kind of a fun little truck right now. I mean, and I think the big point for me is if you can get something that you can have some fun with. And one of the things that I've noticed for this thing is the parts are really cheap. So if I have to buy a sway bar because it doesn't come with one out of the box and it costs me $7, that's not that big of a deal to me. No standing backflip, doesn't have quite the punch, which I can mess around with some of that stuff. I mean, it seems pretty quick on 6S. I should have brought my GPS so I could take a reading, but I also think it'd be a lot more stable with a little bit wider stance, a little bit wider tires maybe. You know, this looks like it could be fun. All right, let's do some little playing right here. Oh, right on the lid. And there goes the standard. I just broke it. Here we go. First run out here playing, and I broke the threads, so time to take it home, fix those up. Now, before we get too crazy, I do have an email from Redcat Racing that said that the supplier used the wrong metal, so they're shipping out new upper arms to everybody. So I just got back to the garage here, and I was kind of thinking on my drive home as I'm looking at this thing here, and you see it just broke off on the passenger side right here with the threads, and it's something that I've seen around. Now, I don't want this to be like a bash video or anything like that, because Redcat has already addressed the issue publicly and is sending out new ones to everybody else. And realistically, the way I was jumping off that berm and into the fence and landing it, like, there was nothing careful or easy about it. Like, you know, I was rough on this thing, and should it be able to handle it? I don't know. I mean, I'm on 6S, and I've broken other trucks in the same way I drive. I'm not a feather the throttle type of guy. I'm a hammer the throttle type of guy. And so I really wasn't taking it easy. And so for this part to break, whether I knew or not that there was a replacement on the way, I probably wouldn't have been upset or even thought anything about this truck, because I've broken turnbuckles and things like that multiple times in the past, and I usually have spares and stuff laying around. I mean, I broke them on my Creighton, on my Outcast, and some of my Traxxas vehicles. So I don't really think it's like a necessarily weak part that necessarily caused this. And granted, we know that it is a weak part that caused this. They're fixing it, like I said. But I thought this truck was kind of fun. I mean, I had a really fun time with it, and I think there's things that I can do to make it my own. But realistically, for me, that's how every truck goes. I don't ever keep any truck stock. I kind of keep it stock right away and enjoy it for a minute. But then I just make it my own and to go to my driving style. And so one of the first things, like, I want this thing a little bit wider. I want different tires on here that will perform the way that I want them to perform when I'm driving. But I do that with a lot of my trucks, right? I make them my own, and changing the connectors, because I just don't like Dean's. I don't. But I think this truck's going to be fun, and I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, you can see from the video, I was able to get some wheelies going and hold on to them, and I think if I change around some of the diff stuff a little bit, that I'm going to turn this truck into actually a really cool basher for me. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to be into the Redcat stuff right now. So I'm going to see if I can find some parts for this and get it up and running again, so we can go out and bash again and see how it holds up over the long term. So thanks for joining in. I am Tyson with Garage Life, and I'm going to leave you with one last thing. If you're into RC, you enjoy the hobby, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because there's more coming, and give me a thumbs up. It would do me a huge favor. So thank you all, and you have a great rest of your day.